Today we are here in Hospital KDJ Penang and right now we are going to interview Dr. Choi Hong. Follow me. My name is Muhammad Abid and this is very good.
Okay, I'm Dr. Choi Hong. I'm a radiologist at KDJ Penang Specialist Hospital. I wanted to do ophthalmology, but I was the most junior houseman to want to go into ophthalmology. So the ophthalmologist down there just told me, I've got 7 MOs and an 8th one is coming. So which means to say that I won't get a chance to get in. So anyway, so I stayed on in medical unit for another 2 years. So after that, when I met one of the nephrologists, he told me, you do radiology. Because they asked me to sit for exams for medical, which means to take internal medicine and RCP. I refused to sit. So in the end, I went into radiology. After moving into radiology, I thought that, oh, that's very good. So I continued and applied into radiology and got accepted into UKM. So that was my journey. But now you all only do one shift, which means to say that if you're on shift, you start at 8 AM, you finish by maybe 5 PM, and that's all for the day. I think the present expectation is that you will have to do 2 years of housemanship. After housemanship, you do another 2 years in whatever field that you are in, and then finish another 3 years, I think, of MO. After, you have to sit for certain exams to get into masters. So if you pass the exam, and then you go for the interview. After the interview, upon selection, then you get into your masters. The masters program is about 4 years. But if you are not sitting for the masters, and if you're sitting for a fellowship, which means to say that you want to sit for overseas exam, let's say a UK exam, Australia exam, or whatever exam, then you apply to that particular, let's say you want to do surgery, not surgery, sorry, let's say MRCP, you can apply to do masters. Even now, they do have, let's say, radiology, government, they have that. So if you are into the radiology department in any government site, you can sit for the overseas exam. It's a basic ultrasound machine. This ultrasound machine, you can see from the head right down to the toes. They have got different probes for different parts of the body. This one, let's say this is a linear probe. This is for ultrasound of small parts. From the thyroid to the brain, to the toes, to color Doppler. And this one is for the abdominal, which means to say that you can see the deeper parts, like ultrasound abdomen. Just after studying that particular subject, radiology, there are so many interesting things. Initially, when we first started, what you study is everything in the textbooks. But what you are seeing live is a bit different. So let's say when we do ultrasound, we see, oh, these are hypocoagulations. What are they? So we have to say, okay, suggest to do CT scan. So if you still from CT scan, you still can't get a diagnosis, we recommend, okay, now you go and do MRI. So there are some times when we think that we are right, but the final diagnosis comes out as, no, we are not right. Challenges and how I deal with it. Because I actually love radiology. So the first interview, I didn't get into radiology. After finishing 1 year, apply again. And then only I was accepted into the course. We cannot give one diagnosis, we will give differential diagnosis. Okay, I think this is TB, I say pulmonary tuberculosis. And then we will suggest that can you please screen for pulmonary tuberculosis, or it is a simple infection. So in our report, we will mention that this was likely an infection, the possible causes are this. Whether it's TB or whether it's pneumonia, or because in radiology, we cannot see all the germs, all the viruses, all the bacteria. At the end of the day, the microbiologist and the pathologist have to confirm that. Oh, we have got radiation protection, which means to say that you will wear a thyroid shield to protect the thyroid, you will got eye goggles to protect your eyes, and we wear a lead sheet to cover our body. Of course, you still will get a minimum amount of radiation, which will be measured by our the device to measure the amount of radiation that you receive. So if you exceed that amount, then we ask you to invest. You see, ultrasound is a non-ionizing radiation device. So we can use on pregnancy, in pregnant women. It is considered to be quite safe. Contract doctors, I really do not know, because I'm not in that position. I don't think you have to fear all that. Things might change. By the time you come out, it'll be, let's say, 5 years from now, then the situation will be different. The older doctors will have to come, so the younger doctors can come. Basic medicine is just a degree. From then, there's some people who go into research, go into health side, go into public administration. And you can be a pengara of a hospital. You can control the other specialists. I would say that if that is your dream to be a doctor, just go for it. Don't have worry about the rest. If you are a contract doctor, you work harder to be a permanent doctor. Right?
Yes.
Because there's so much work, there's no time to think. You just have to go on and on and on. The moment you finish one, another will come. The moment you finish one, there's another patient coming. So you don't have the time to think. Proceed with your dreams.
Alright, so that was a splendid and fun experience. I enjoy being a patient. So let's see you next time.